Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. We kick off today with a story that, depending on your perspective, is either a sad reflection on how far Apple has fallen, a positive reflection on how much Google's Gemini has started to assert leadership in the AI race, or just an OMG thank you, my goodness, how long can Siri be bad for before we bring this thing out behind the shed? Yes, it appears that Apple is going to solve its Siri problem by turning to Google. According to Bloomberg's Apple insider Mark Gurman, Apple recently approached Google to, quote, explore building a custom AI model that would serve as the foundation of the new Siri next year. His sources said that Google had already started training a model that could run on Apple's servers. They added that Apple is still weeks away from making a final decision on whether to partner on the Siri model or continue to use their own internal models. Still, for months we've heard rumors that the AI Siri project is seen as a dead end and that Apple had been looking around for partners. This, however, is the first time we've heard that they're close to making a final decision. According to the reporting, Apple is in the middle of a bake-off with an internally developed Siri going against another that uses outside technology. And while it may seem initially strange for Apple to outsource the defining technology of the moment to a key rival, they do have a long history of being pragmatic and ceding ground to Google when it makes financial sense. Google, for example, famously pays Apple around $20 billion annually to have Google Search as the default setting on iPhones. Given that, if a deal does come together, it'll be interesting to see which way the money flows. The economics of search are clear, but it's still pretty early to know exactly how the money works when it comes to AI-powered search. Still, even if AI chatbots have not shown yet the same ad revenue as traditional search, it is obviously a massive data stream that Google could benefit from. Also, whatever happens, it's not going to be like Google just pulls their existing Gemini model off the shelf. Whichever model Apple ends up going with, they want it to run on their own servers. That means it's going to need to be compatible with Apple Silicon rather than being optimized for NVIDIA chips or Google or presumably Google's TPUs. It's also an open question whether the architecture of iOS itself is a roadblock. Google recently demonstrated most of the functions that had been originally slated for Apple Intelligence running on their Pixel 10 handset. At the same time, Android is far more open to cross-application interactions than iOS, which could prove a limitation for an agentic Siri. The responses are pretty much what you might imagine. Zero Hedge writes, Apple has completely given up on AI. Now, former quant investor Jeffrey Emanuel did note that, quote, Google is probably offering to pay them a lot of money to do this, just like they do to make Google the default search on iPhone and Safari. It's still crazy, though, that Apple would advocate a leadership role of any kind in the most disruptive technology of the last 40 years. Delphi Ventures partner Tom Shaughnessy wrote, if Apple chooses Google's Gemini to run Siri, it's game over. Gemini would be running AI on all Android and Apple devices around the world. Billions of devices RLHFing the models, providing data, and improving the models make the moat even stronger. Would be impossible for a competitor to keep up. Apple could be using this to get better deal terms from OpenAI, who they already have a deal with though. I also think it would get touchy on antitrust. I think that last point is a salient one, where there's no guarantee that this would get through, given how much scrutiny Apple's search deal with Google has had in the last couple of years as well. One very expansive analysis came from Robert Scoble. He writes, it makes sense for Apple to do a deal with Google. This would be good for holodeck fans. Google's Genie 3 is something I want on the Vision Pro in the worst way. It would be good for Google fans, who will see its AIs and ecosystem strengthened by such a move. It'll be bad for NVIDIA and OpenAI. I keep dreaming about Tim Cook doing a deal with Elon Musk, but Google is the best other choice. It has the best real-world data, a very decent AI model, and the best holodeck we've seen so far, and with Waymo has a credible autonomous car network to compete with Elon with. And this is where Scoble's analysis gets even more expansive. This move, he says, strengthens Waymo against Tesla's robotaxi. Apple hates Google culturally, but hates Mark Zuckerberg more. Back a decade or so ago, someone at Apple PR told me that Zuckerberg got in a yelling match with Steve Jobs, and Apple hates Meta's privacy stance. Google isn't the best at privacy, but at least it's a known entity and hasn't done anything nasty on the privacy front, and has put the best security protections into Gmail and its other services that I've seen. Google makes its own GPUs and AI inferencing chips for its data centers, which gives it a lot of benefits, and its advertising network is top rate, in many ways better than Meta's. And in the future, advertising will play a big role in funding holodeck experiences. Apple knows consumers aren't ready for AI glasses yet, but is planning on its own sometime between now and the end of 2027, and its Vision Pro sets the stage for the future very well. Apple also knows that Sam Altman is gassing up to go into consumer devices over the next decade, so doesn't want a new hot competitor to take its lunch in robotics or brain-computer interfaces either. If Apple makes this deal happen, we'll see a duopoly form like Microsoft and Intel had for decades. It will be hard to disrupt by Zuckerberg or Altman. Now, Scoble, for those of you who don't follow, is much more interested in the hardware, VR, AR kind of world than currently the average consumer is. But I think the patternicity here of how he sees these big tech relationships changing is pretty interesting. Now, staying on Google for just a moment, the company is rolling out AI mode worldwide and taking their first tentative steps towards agentic search. AI mode, which allows users to perform complex queries and ask follow-up questions within search, will now be available across 180 countries. The first agentic feature will be the ability to use AI mode to make restaurant reservations based on user preferences. Google says they will soon roll out the ability to make local service appointments and book event tickets as well. The agentic features are only available within the experimental Google Labs and will require the $250 a month Ultra plan, so this is a very, very limited rollout. In fact, given that they are only available in that high-price tier, it seems pretty clear that they want to test the features with a very friendly and highly enfranchised audience to begin. Now, some are, I think, quite limitedly dismissing this as a one-trick agent. And yet, quite obviously, this is just the beginning of a much grander vision. Google DeepMind research scientist Anmol Gulati writes, "We just launched Project Mariner in Google Search AI mode, one of the most fun projects we've worked on lately. Behind every search query, an agentic system works quietly for you, maybe one of the most profound interfaces ever built." What's interesting about this, especially given our previous conversation about Apple and Google, is that it kind of seems like Google is making all the moves to integrate AI into people's normal lives in really subtle, simple ways without smashing it over their heads that it's AI, that Apple Intelligence was supposed to be. Some definitely see this as a trajectory play. Anchor Roy writes, "Project Mariner integration is the real story here. Search becoming an agent that acts versus just retrieves changes the game completely. Reservation booking feels like the obvious first step." Now, staying on the theme of big tech and their battles, Elon Musk continues to be lawsuit happy, suing Apple and OpenAI on Monday for anti-competitive practices. Now, if you've spent any time on Twitter/X lately, you will know exactly what this is about. The information explains that the suit accuses Apple and OpenAI of working together to basically direct people towards ChatGPT and away from competitors like Grok. The information writes, XAI's lawsuit also claims that Apple has given ChatGPT favorable placement in its App Store and, quote, dragged out its App Store app review process for competitors like Grok. Wrote the lawsuit, "This is a tale of two monopolists joining forces to ensure their continued dominance in a world rapidly driven by the most powerful technology humanity has ever created." And although everything that Elon does is mostly a Rorschach test on how you feel about Elon, I would say that this one has even less resonance than normal. Accelerate Harder really summed up the feelings of many denizens of Twitter/X when they wrote, "Does anyone really find it plausible that Apple needs to suppress the XAI app for OpenAI to continue beating it on the App Store? ChatGPT is the only AI that most consumers can name, and XAI has a porny brand problem and a much smaller install base." Responded an OpenAI spokesperson, "The latest filing is consistent with Mr. Musk's ongoing pattern of harassment." Now, this not being a soap opera show, we will end it there. Look, at the end of the day, Grok's models are really good and they're moving fast. If you haven't tried out Grok 4 yet, I highly suggest you take some time to do so. I'm still in a phase where I'm running a lot of different strategic prompts by a number of different models, including Grok 4 alongside GPT-5, O3, etc. Ultimately, it all just seems like noise, and the real battle is going to be won just by outcompeting. For now, that's going to do it for today's headlines. Next up, the main episode.